Hey folks, Supercar Sean here, and I said I was going to do a video on car shows and pick the right car show and things like that. Sometimes having the best prepped car is not even a part of the show. So I recently went to a couple car shows, and what happened was they were just sort of people's choice. The judges went by and said, I like that car, I like that car. It had nothing really to do with the cleanliness of the car. Of course you wanted your car to be clean. Of course you wanted it to be absolutely meticulous. But people were just judging whether they liked the car or not. And in that case, you know, it may be difficult to win with your car, because if they don't know what the car is, if it's a common car, if it's something that they see every day, you may not bring home a trophy. So when I was looking back at this, you know, there's only certain things that you can do to bring your car out. So what do I do to try to make my car stand out? Well, of course, it's a Maserati. It will also be the Alfa Romeo when that car comes back from the shop. But so you have a car that you don't see a lot of. So technically that should give me a sort of leg up versus all the Mustangs and Camaros and Chargers and Challengers and all that stuff that you see at every single car show. Because every single car show has a preponderance of those cars, has a preponderance of street rods, you know, 57 Chevys, things like that. So, you know, already the Maserati and Alfa Romeo are going to stand out among those cars. So I have that sort of working for me. But that can also go in the opposite direction, whereas people only come to car shows and they want to see the classic cars from the 50s and 60s. And so, you know, then my car doesn't stand a chance. So I've been really researching ways and trying to find different ways and props that I can bring into my car that will gain more attention. So I have a couple of them. I have a turntable both inside and outside the car that displays a little model of my car. I recently put together a Lego set that I'm going to use. I got a custom sign that's going to come that's going to say Maserati on it. I have a little I Love Maseratis teddy bear that I put in there. I always put my driving gloves in there. Just little things like that. Anything that you can do to draw attention to your car and make it stand out differently from all the other cars. I have a yard sign that says Maserati on it, because most of the car shows are in grass. So that's another thing. So anything that you can do that will make your car stand out from every other car that's sitting there, just on the display end, may help you out. I strongly feel that anything that you can do to just give it that extra pop in the display aspect will really, really help you. Of course, your car has to be meticulously clean. I already covered that. It has to be detailed to the max. That's a given. But if you really think about it, any car that goes to a car show more than likely is going to be detailed to the max. So it's almost a prerequisite to get into the car show. So you know all the cars are going to be looking great. So what can you do to stand out, and then what can you do to win the trophy? I go with the Italian theme. So all my clothes are Maserati or matching the car. My sunglasses, usually Maserati or Ferrari. My watch, even Maserati or Ferrari. I stick with that Italian theme, and what I try to do is I try to just make it all encompassing. And if I were to be able to do it, and I haven't thought of a great way to do it yet, I'd want to bring that person into a little setting of Italy. You know, make them feel like they're in Italy while they're looking at my car. So that may turn into some Bluetooth music that I play when you're around the car. You know, nothing too loud. You don't want to overshadow the music, usually the 50s and 60s music that they're playing at these car shows. But maybe some Italian music that you know, gets you in the mood and is like, oh, hey, you know, that's something different. You know, one of the things I did at my Airbnb was I always had the scent sticks that plug into the outlets, and I changed them for the season. So during Christmas time, you know, it would be pine cones and cinnamon and things like that, and evergreen. And then during the summertime, you know, you'd have more of a like a beach type scent or a pina colada type scent or things like that. So as soon as you walked into the door, you got this scent, and that was another sense to help enjoy the property. Same thing goes for the cars. You want to you have your visual sense of, hey, this is what the car looks like, but you also want to look at how you can attract the other senses into the experience of viewing your car. So, like I said, it may be other sights such as the display, maybe the sounds like playing Italian music. You know, I don't know what you could really do about scents, you know, at a car show, but these are all like different things that you can try to do to just make that experience of you looking at the car different. And like I said, you may have the best prep car, you may have the best looking car, you may have the only car of that type there, and you still won't be guaranteed a trophy. There's no guarantees because at the end of the day, it's all subjective to the judge. So that's my first video on this. I'm probably going to do a couple more. I want to talk about concourse judging. I'm actually going to a concourse course on August 2nd, and that's going to describe, you know, what the concourse level judges have to deal with and different ways that they look at cars, and then that will give me some tips on how to properly prep my car. Maybe there's something I'm missing, things like that. But this is the general idea that's going to be through this channel. It's going to be Italian cars, specifically focused on my Maserati GranTurismo, my Alfa Romeo Spyder Veloce, and then hopefully there'll be a third car after that, another Italian car. I don't know what it's going to be yet. We're trying to figure that out. And we want you to follow and get these tips and tricks so that you, no matter what car you have, whether it's Italian or German, whatever it may be, American car, that will help you win at these car shows. Because I know everybody puts a lot of time, a lot of effort to prep their car for these car shows. Then they get there, they don't win a trophy, they go home, they wonder why. So I'm gonna try to incorporate that in my channel. But hopefully this helps you out with some tips and tricks and hacks on how to win at car shows, and different types of car shows, and what people may be looking for at these different car shows. It gives you a perspective onto what car show to pick to go to next. As always, I'm Supercar Sean. Give me a like, a subscribe, comment below, follow me on YouTube, follow me on TikTok, and we'll see you later. Take care.